call our meeting to order. And I need, we've got a couple of changes in the agenda. You want me to go through them now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Public statements, number 12 will be added. Under motions, 7J Alma Water Project, well field designation.
Not even in camera for labor and employment matters, 71 J. Please, thank you.
Okay, that it? Okay, then I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. So needs by Lynn, second by Jonah. Any question? All in favor? Aye. Conflict of interest? None. Adoption of minutes, January the 29th. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved, seconder, votes. Any question? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. February the 3rd, 2026, regular council meeting. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Lynn, second by Jonah. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. February 12th, 2026, special committee meeting. Jim Coates. Seconder, Lynn. Any question? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. February 7th, 2017, 2026, committee of the whole.
So moved.
She moved by Jonah, second by Lynn. Any question? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Consent agenda, nothing. Okay. Public administrative presentations. Sergeant.
How are you?
Very well, sir. And thank you very much for joining us.
I was just gonna say, thank you for the invite. Ricky LeBlanc, Sergeant of the Caledonia Detachment. For those that don't know me, I've been with the force for almost 19 years. Started out in C Division, so at Quebec. Did federal operations for 10 years there. Came back in New Brunswick. I'm from New Brunswick, northwestern New Brunswick. Came back in Richelieu initially as a constable and was in charge of the street crime unit there for a few years. And took the sergeant job there and moved over to the Caledonia Detachment in 2024. So glad for the invite to be here and to meet. I know there's a few new faces. And so as the Sergeant of Caledonia, I'm also in charge right now of the Shediac-Sackville region. So all of Region 7 as the acting staff. So Danko for the region. So I cover quite a bit of ground. So I didn't have anything specific. It was kind of a first touch base meeting. I can talk about a few points that we're looking into. The holidays were really busy for proactive work. We did some proactive check stops right before the Christmas and New Year's and in between the two. We were planning on doing Coffee with a Cop in this region in April. That's something that we're looking forward to. And I know the region is also looking at another a truck like we did last year in the area as well. A few new things for us in gear. I know that it's been publicized quite on Facebook and social media, but just to mention, most of us now have a body camera. So for transparency for both us and for the calls we go to, so just to show everybody. So when it blinks green, it just says that it's ready, and when it blinks red, it means that it's recording. Okay, so it's a new tool that we have. You've also probably noticed that I'm wearing all blue, so the new shirts are in as of February in New Brunswick. So these are going to be. You'll still see some officers wearing the gray and some blue, just as we're transitioning, and some sizes weren't available. So because they started in PI and they're moving towards BC. So that's one of the new pieces of equipment. As you see, it's not getting lighter. We have more equipment every year, so it's part of the job. I did bring the Q3 report. Hopefully everybody got a copy of it. I can go through a summary of it if you guys want, just to talk about
Sure, we have some people and there's obviously some people watching them.
Sounds good. The more the merrier. So basically for Region 7, so the three regions that I cover right now, we had 4,012 calls between October 1st and December 31st. So this is the Q3 report. So basically we're always one behind.
Right.
When we start into the new fiscal, as of April, we'll get the Q4 report. So basically breaking it down for Caledonia, we had 264 calls for Fundy Albert for the same period, October 1st, December 31st. And to compare that with the other three regions, so 264 for Fundy Albert, 464 for Maple Hills, 504 for Salisbury, and Three Rivers had 234 calls. Most of the times, and you'll see that throughout the reports, most of our calls are non-criminal code. So in this case, for the 264 calls for Fundy Albert, we have 75% of the calls that were non-criminal. So that could be traffic offenses, that could be assist to other agencies, stuff like that, versus chargeable offenses like assaults and mischiefs, stuff like that. And basically, what usually pops out at every report, whether it's here or other regions, is traffic and property crime. Those are the two big ones that always come out. And that's a province-wide thing, and I'd say even a national thing, especially with the current laws that property crime have a tendency to catch and more of a catch the offenders. They're released pretty quick, and then we start over again for that. So just to go kind of based on that, so for non-criminal code offenses, our top was obviously traffic and non-criminal code. So basically a lot of assistance to social services in this area. And for criminal code offenses, mischief, assault, and other violence is the three main occurrences in the area as well. That's kind of a summary for Fundy Albert. Obviously, it's a low call volume. I always say that if you want more police in the area, you have to call more. So I always say that if there's one thing, before what you used to call 911, you would see a police officer right away. Now it's categorized more of if you need a police officer right away, they'll be dispatched. If it's, for an example, a fraud that happened 2 weeks before, then you might get a follow-up later. So they've gone through like a more of a priority setting. So if, let's say there's a domestic situation that's happening right now, obviously they'll have officers responding right away versus the something that happened in the past. I know I'm talking a lot, so I'll leave the floor maybe open to, I don't know if you guys usually do here or do the public after, both at the same time, but I'm open to any question.
For your coffee with the RCP, we have a number of facilities. Happy to set you up in one.
Perfect. I have a few ideas.
Yeah.
And that's what we tried to do. We tried to stay away from the bigger chains and try to support local. Last year I was seconded to street crime, so they did it at a local coffee shop in Salisbury. And this year I've got a few other local here in Fundy Albert. So we can chat after if you want to give me a few names, and I can tell you what I was thinking as well. But always has to be in support with the coffee shop as well if they have to support as well.
Stabbing Knuckles, how are you?
Sorry?
How are every time we have a visit and we always find that you're lacking in staff too.
It's not, that's one thing I did want to mention. So our previous model, just to let you know, which has gone better. Our previous model was where we had a 20-hour service and 4 hours of on call. Since February 16th of this year, we're full-time 24-hour service. So because of the higher call volume, especially in the night, we've changed the model, and that's for us, Shediac and Sagal. So I've restructured the whole region, so we're all 24-hour service now.
Okay.
So whether you call at 2 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning, you'll get responding officers, not somebody that's waking up and going to the call after. So that's a big plus. And yeah, resources, obviously you always have the maternity, paternity leave, you have some sick leave, surgery, stuff like that. But overall, we're not bad for the region out of the 70 or 71 officers for the 3 detachments. So it's going pretty good.
It's good news.
With the upgrade, like 6 new positions for this area that came in 2024, now they're fully staffed. So usually takes 2 to 3 years to staff. I can give it all 6 for staff right now.
Nice.
The only position that's not staffed is one supervisor spot. And the promotion's open right now, so we're hoping to fill that pretty quick.
Council.
Yes, thank you for coming. With the new RCMP building being built into Salisbury area, is that gonna affect us in the responses? Or is the building review gonna stay over?
So that was it's not Ricky's decision to where the building was put in. I can say that logically, it makes sense in a way of being out of Riverview. I say Riverview, not Salisbury specifically. Because right now we're in Riverview, but we don't cover Riverview, so it's a bit confusing for especially residents of Riverview that come in and say, I want a criminal record check, and we say, no, you have to go on Main Street in Moncton to get your criminal record check because we don't supply services to the area. So being in our region is going to be a plus. And what I can say in regards to Salisbury, I understand that yes, it looks like when you look at a map, you see that we're going to be further away. What I can say for that is I lived through that experience in Rishabhakto when we closed the Buktush detachment. And what we set up at the time, and that's what I'm planning to do for here, is that we did zones. So let's say we had a certain amount of officers, we divide the zones so that there's officers in each region. Versus they're all focused in one area and they respond to where they have to go. Right now where we're at, we're kind of close to the central, but we have to go through Moncton every 5 seconds to get somewhere. Versus in Salisbury, we'll be able to go on the other side as well to get into the area here. So I expect that we'll with that strategy, we'll be able to cover the full area pretty easily, and especially with the extra resources too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Coates. Doctor.
I'm very worried about the time of coming from the attachment to Sayona.
You're saying like from where we're at right now?
Now,
It's I'd say it's all of a hit or miss, and I'll give you an example. We go where the calls are, right? And the way it's structured is we go by priority. So we have priority 1 to priority 6 calls. Priority 1, 2 is an immediate response. 3, 4, 5 is 6 and is more of a something that happened in the past that we'll get to when we have time. So that being said, I've seen response times being higher because we were all members on shift were on the north side responding to high priority calls. But I've seen also where the member wasn't in Riverside, Albert when the call came in Alma. So it's all the timing of where the members are. And I can say that when the members are not on calls, as I'm proposing for the Salisbury area, when we get there is that we'll be divided. So the response time should be equal, whether we're in this, I call it the South region or the North region.
just what does your area cover? Is it same as basically it was?
So we basically cover all the way around Moncton. So from Lakeville all the way to Irishtown, Salisbury. We cover a little bit of Havelock. So we go into the Queens County, just a little sliver. And obviously Petitcodiac can go all the way to Alma, a little bit into the park, and then it goes to the Sussex detachment after that. So it's a big area for sure. Rishabhakta was a really big region as well. That's why we had to cover the south and north, because I always said that Saint Anne, the Canadian Temple, was our half point. So members south of that were the south region, and members north of that were the north region to split the resources.
You can never understand why they put the one out in Irishtown, a detachment. Why, it's 20 minutes from out of town from Riverview. You could be there in 20 minutes and
Yeah.
but is there any time doing portable attachments? Is there? I don't imagine there'd be I probably have the
I wouldn't argue that for sure. And honestly, I would take more offices and more officers any day of the week. Obviously, that comes with cost as well. And that's something that I would say that if the region and if this committee is willing to push for that, then through justice and public safety would probably be your best avenue, because we go with what is supplied by the province. So if we say that the new Salisbury detachment is our main focus, and then we have to structure our resources to go with that reality. And to even add to your point of Irishtown, we used to have the traffic section that worked there,
Okay.
and that's closed now, and now they work with us in at the Riverview detachment. So.
How many men are you short right now?
So we only have one position that's not filled, and it's a supervisor spot. And it was open promotionally, it closed 2 weeks ago, give or take. So we're just hoping that that's gonna get filled.
And how many men do you have?
So our police officers, we have 27 members, counting me. And on top of that, we have 3 traffic officers that work out of Caledonia, but don't necessarily stay in Caledonia. They cover the province. Yeah, no, that's it.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Jones?
The 264,
Yes.
is that kind of an average for down here?
Yeah, it's pretty much an average. I've seen like in the 300s. That's pretty low in my opinion. And that's why, like, I know that Mr. Wallace and I talked about like the multiple break-ins that happened a few weeks ago, and that we caught the individual shortly after. So a lot of information was going through social media that wasn't getting to us, and I know we talked about like firearms. Like the first time we heard about firearms was when we seized the vehicle with the firearms in it. So I know that we had talked about why wasn't an alert ready not sent out, and there was no information that we had at the moment that merited an alert ready. So obviously, like when those types of things come in, the more information that we have, the more we can do right away, and the quicker the decisions. And already, that's why I sent Mr. Wallace a link to the criteria. It has to be an active event, not just somebody that might have firearms. It has to be something's happening. It's active right now. For example, the escapee from the prison in Shediac a few weeks ago, because of the time length it took for us to get the report, and the time length that we were behind about 7 to 8 hours. And it was somebody that was in custody because of firearms or offenses. That's why we sent out the alert ready, because we felt that he was a danger to the public. So I would say like that 264 to me is low, and we're always. I always say, like, the more you call, the more you'll see us. For an example, the province has told us that we need to go with intelligence-based policing. So that means that, for an example, if you say there's traffic complaints on Main Street, the more you call about that traffic complaint, the more attention will be brought to that specific thing. And that applies to everything. So if you want, I always say, if you want more police in the area, call more. And that's how we get boots on the ground.
Okay.
Thank you. Staff, do you have any questions? Yep. Well. Okay. Anybody in the?
Is this? Yeah, you said there was 264 offenses down here.
Not offenses, it was calls. So basically that can be 911 calls that we received, whether urgent or not. And it's also all the like traffic offenses, so tickets that we give.
You track between what the summary conviction and a criminal conviction, and then on the calls you take.
Yeah, so that's all included in the 264.
Okay, so how many are summary, how many are criminal?
I don't have that number here.
That's extremely important to know.
Yeah, if I would have known that was a question, I would have brought it, but I can say that 264 that encompasses criminal code offenses, whether it's summary or indictable. And it also includes like traffic offenses, assist to, general public, assist to other agencies. So basically a full.
Thank you.
Well,
Anybody else? Mr. Hill?
So you're including, self-generated traffic stops and tickets as part of that
That's
two
correct.
hundred and 64.
That's correct.
So they aren't really calls for service, they're just traffic stops.
So every time there's a police action in the area, it creates,
But it's not a call for service, it's a traffic stop.
some would be calls for service. So for an example, get a call for a traffic offense. There's tickets given after because of that would be part of it. But yes, there is some that are self-generated because of proactive.
And how many of those 264 calls for service were proactive drug arrests?
For proactive, what, sorry?
Drug arrests for drug seizures.
I don't have the report here. Let's see if the breakdown. Yeah, well, it's not in the report here, but if that's something you want me to follow up and get back to you with them.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Ricky, I do recall seeing that on your website, that I can go into a map and I can tell exactly what the offenses are.
Yeah,
So I do know that exists.
Yeah, I can send a link to the committee if they want to put it on the Facebook website. You guys can actually go online and check daily what type of calls that we get. And what type of offenses, what it says, how many calls we got in a day, in regards to what type of offense. And they go by priority as well.
So on our website,
It's under frequently asked questions.
yes, under frequently asked questions, that link is there on our website.
Sorry.
Oh. So much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Residents?
Thank you very much.
We'll follow up with you on the property thing.
Yeah, sounds good. Send you,
Ricky, you know, Alan Hicks,
if I know who, sir,
Alan Hicks,
the name rings a bell.
I'm just, making those on mine.
Okay.
Just, put papers in, for
Yeah.
the end of June.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
lucky him.
He's on, 30-some years.
I have a few years left to provide, so
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm good to go.
All good. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Take care.
Taking the time. I mean, you're always welcome to stay, but I know you could.
A little bit of paperwork. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Epilepsy Awareness Day. Purple Day Proclamation 2026. I move that whereas Purple Day is a grateful effort dedicated to promoting epilepsy awareness in countries around the world. And whereas epilepsy is one of the most common neurological conditions, estimated to affect over 50 million people worldwide, and 42 people in Canada are diagnosed every day. And whereas 1 in 10 persons will have at least one seizure during his or her lifetime, and whereas the public is often unable to recognize common seizure types or how to respond with appropriate first aid, and whereas Purple Day will be celebrated on March the 26th annually to increase understanding, reduce stigma, and improve the quality of life for people with epilepsy throughout the country and globally. Now, therefore, I do hereby proclaim March the 26th, 2026, Purple Day in an effort to raise awareness for Epilepsy Canada. So moved. Need a second there. And all in favor?
All right.
Thank you. All right. Reports. Personnel Committee, report. Emergency Measures Committee. Any report?
Should be something for the town meeting, next meeting.
Okay,
town meeting.
okay. Recreation Committee,
Nothing for tonight, thank you.
okay. ATV Access on Roads and Streets Committee,
Yes, we have a recommendation from the Council of Authorities, Nair and sort to execute a land use agreement with the New Brunswick All Terrain Vehicle Federation for Inc. Represented by ATV 32 for the purpose of permitting recreational ATV trail across and access on PID 0503 3293 of land owned by Fundy Albert. It's
that's a motion?
yeah,
Second that. Counselor Land, any question on that? Where it is? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The land use agreements, White Rock Chance Canada Trail on route.
Yeah, good evening. The White Rock Trans Canada reroute recommendation. A bit of background is currently goes around Golf Club Road. We've had Trans Canada Trail provisionally agreed to have it rerouted through the White Rock recreation area. This will open up potential funding through Trans Canada Trail to improve that area. The recommendation is that council agrees for the mayor to sign this off and allow it to move forward.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
I move that whereas the White Rock Recreation Area is a key recreational and tourist asset within the village of Bundy Albert. And whereas the current Trans-Canada Trail alignment along Golf Club Road does not fully leverage the recreational, environmental, and economic potential of the White Rock area. And whereas the Trans-Canada Trail organization has provisionally agreed to reroute the trail through the White Rock Recreation Area, subject to formal municipal approval. Therefore, be it resolved that council approve the rerouting of the Trans-Canada Trail through the White Rock Recreation Area. Be it further resolved that the mayor be authorized to sign the Trans-Canada Trail rerouting application and any related documentation required to formalize the alignment on behalf of the village of Bundy Albert.
Second, John. Any questions on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Carried, unanimous. Arena Lane,
You want to take that one?
Yeah, I can do that, sure. Cool. This is regarding the purchase of arena or some land adjacent to the arena for possible future extension. As part of this deal, the main lot is going to be subdivided. Therefore, it leaves a landlocked section of that parent PID. The proposal here is that we transfer a piece of municipal property that's currently passed as a future street that does not have any real value or operational impact on the village at the time, to allow the subdivision to move forward, to allow the remnant of the PID to be developable. And it's just a recommendation is that we agree to include that piece of land in land transfer as part of the deal.
If I could add to that, that piece of land was already designated for that purpose. And going to a private landowner means that we're not going to be paying for street maintenance or infrastructure, so it would also be a cost saving for the municipality.
I'll read that motion, Mayor.
wait, thank
I
you.
move that whereas the village is pursuing acquisition of approximately 4 acres of land adjacent to the municipal arena to support future expansion, and whereas proposed subdivision required to facilitate this acquisition will leave the vendor's remaining parcel without legal access and therefore not approvable under subdivision requirements. Whereas the village owns PID 05079058, approximately 0.83 acres, which is not required for current municipal operations or near-term capital projects. And whereas conveyance of PID 9058 forms part of the overall land transition necessary to enable subdivision approval and completion of the broader arena land acquisition. Therefore, be it resolved that council authorize the conveyance of PID 05079058, approximately 0.83 acres, as part of the larger land acquisition agreement to support future arena expansion. Be it further resolved that the mayor and chief administrative officer be authorized to execute all agreements, subdivision documents, and transfer instruments necessary to complete the transaction.
Seconder for that, Jonah. Any questions? All in favor? Unanimous. Okay. AMH 2026, scenic drive shoulder and swale reconstruction.
This is a recommendation that council approves the proposal from WSP Engineers to conduct the 2026 PMHP works and scenic drive shoulder as well reconstruction. We went through a procurement process of submitting an MBON and then identifying which provider provided the best value, which WSP provided the lowest engineering costs and the best proposal for what they were going to do on the actual or the areas they were going to address with that.
I'll get that one. I move that whereas council approved the 2026 BMHP scenic drive shoulder and swale reconstruction project with a total budget of $185,500. And whereas a public request for proposals was issued through NBON in accordance with the municipality's procurement policy. And whereas SWP submitted the lowest compliant engineering fee and demonstrated alignment with the approved project budget while maintaining corridor-wide consideration of works. Therefore, be it resolved that council approved the proposal submitted by WSP for the 2026 PMHP scenic drive shoulder and swale reconstruction project. Be it further resolved that the chief administrative office be authorized to execute the engineering agreement with WSP and to take all necessary administrative actions to advance the project, including detailed design, tender preparation, and contract execution within the approved total project budget of $185,500.
Seconder. Votes. All in favor? Motion carried unanimously. Summer road maintenance.
The recommendation with this one is for council to agree to the nomination of contracts of record for carrying out the summer roads maintenance for 2026. Again, we went through a procurement process of going on MBON for providers to submit proposals and quotes for the different types of work required. Brown's Paving came out as the lowest cost option for potholes and padding and mill and pave, and then with Virtual Construction coming out as the lowest and most value for money in terms of crack sealing. The recommendation is that we nominate these as contracts of record for this season, so we can move forward and get moving with the summer roads maintenance work.
I'll make that motion. I move that whereas the municipality issued a public request for quotation through NBON for the 2026 summer road maintenance program, and whereas unit pricing was evaluated to determine best value for each treatment type. And whereas Brown's Paving Limited submitted the lowest compliant unit pricing for asphalt patching, asphalt padding, and mill and pave works. And whereas Birch Hill Construction provides the best overall value for crack sealing when accounting for mobilization and anticipated volumes. Therefore, be resolved that council appoint Brown's Paving Limited as contractor of record for asphalt patching, asphalt padding, and mill and pave works, and Birch Hill Construction as contractor of record for crack sealing. Be it further resolved that the chief administrative officer be authorized to approve and execute work orders on the 2026 summer road maintenance program with the appointed contractor of record, provided that total expenditures remain within the approved 2026 summer road maintenance budget allocation.
Seconder for that. Comment? All in favor? Carried. Elma Water Project, wellfield designation.
Okay, as part of the ongoing Amber Water project, the mayor and council have to request the Department of Environment proceed to have the new Amber wells designated under the wellfield protected area designation order. But that don't go well.
We like to do that one. You have it?
Sure. Whereas the village of Fundy Outward has completed development of wells in Alma. And whereas designation of the welfare protection area designation order pursuant to the Clean Water Act is required as part of the provincial commissioning process. And whereas the Department of Environment and Local Government requires a formal resolution from council to proceed with designation. Therefore, be resolved that the mayor and council of the village of Fundy Albert formally request that the Department of Environment and Local Government proceed to have a new Alma well designated under the Wellfield Protection Area Designation Order, Clean Water Act.
Seconded. Votes. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Reports from administration, NB Power and Bell Candy easement.
So the purpose of this report is to seek council's authorization to grant an easement across municipal lands identified as POD 05083050 in favor of MB Power and Bell Canada. The village has received a request from both utilities to install, operate, and maintain electrical and telecommunications infrastructure across this property. The Elma Municipal Well House and generator are currently located on this parcel, and the proposed easement would allow the utilities access to the land to support infrastructure and service delivery within the surrounding area. And where it's a municipally owned property, then council does have to authorize the approval to proceed with the easement.
Go ahead.
I move that council of the village of Fundy Albert authorize the mayor, clerk, and CIO to execute an easement agreement in favor of MB Power and Bell Canada across municipal lands identified as PID 05083050.
Seconder for that. Lynn. All in favor? Amendment to a previously adopted resolution.
So this report is to correct a procedural irregularity related to the motion previously authorizing the purchase of 3-ton trucks. So at the February 3rd council meeting, a motion was introduced to authorize the purchase of the truck, which included a clause allowing the CAO and mayor to approve cost variances of up to $5,000. During debate, an amendment was introduced to remove that clause. The amendment resulted in a tie vote, and then so forth was defeated. So then the motion should have automatically reverted back to its original wording and then been voted on from that form. Instead, the motion was reread with revised wording, including a reduced variance of $2,500, and was then passed. So as a result, the motion recorded in the minutes does not follow the correct procedural process. So while council's intent was to proceed with the purchase of the truck, the authorization itself is procedurally flawed. So administration has since proceeded with the purchase to Riverview Truck with the original quoted price being honored. And just for the record, a motion to rescind the original motion that was made, and then a new motion has to be made, which has all been provided to.
I'll read that, right? Be resolved that council rescind the motion adopted at the February 3rd, 2026 regular meeting of council, authorizing the purchase of a 3-ton dump truck fitted with an aluminum hybrid dump box and a 9.2-foot V-blade snow plow. As the mention was adopted following a procedural irregularity. Whereas the municipality's existing 3-ton dump truck has exceeded.
No,
That's it.
That's it.
that's it.
Okay.
Somebody.
Seconder for that motion.
Okay.
No, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay, now. The
Now we
motion.
can continue.
Now you can continue, sir.
Thank you. Whereas municipality's existing 3-ton dump truck has exceeded most key asset management and fleet lifestyle performance indicators, including age, reliability, downtime, repair cost benchmarks, resulting in escalating maintenance expenses, reduced fleet reliability, and increasing impact on service delivery. And whereas administration has received quotations from a qualified supplier for the purchase of replacement dump truck fitted with an aluminum hybrid dump body, together with a fitted 9.2 foot V blade snowplow, which together met the municipality operational requirements and represents a like for like replacement of the existing asset. And whereas the total estimated cost of the replacement vehicle and plow was $133,883.74, excluding HXC, consisting of $117,563.74 for the truck and aluminum hybrid dump box, and $16,320 for the snowplow. Whereas funding is available for this purchase through the capital renewal fund in the amount of $84,394, with the remaining balance of $49,489.74, and that HST to be funded from the village core capital reserve. Now therefore be it resolved that council approve the purchase of 3-ton dump truck fitted with an aluminum hybrid box and 9.2 foot V blade snowplow as quoted by respective suppliers at a total estimated cost of $133,883.74, excluding HST. And be it further resolved that council authorizes the chief administrative officer and mayor to approve the cost variance of up to $5,000 should pricing change or minor specifications adjusted to require the time purchase, provided the vehicle remains equivalent in duty rating and operational capability.
Go ahead. Second, yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Any questions? Being none, I'm sure. All in favor, thank you. Drifted off for a second. All one. Municipal building renovations.
I have that one. Council received the CFR in your package. Basically, we went out and got 3 quotes for the work that's required in here. With Ridge Terrace having the lowest quote, $68,300, and we're looking for authorization to proceed with the work.
Thank you.
I move that whereas the municipal hall and council chambers were not designed to accommodate the operational and governance needs of the newly amalgamated municipality and require renovation to address space, accessibility, safety, and energy deficiencies. And whereas funding in the amount of $104,000 has been allocated to the municipality through the Community Renewal Fund for the purpose of municipal infrastructure renewal. And whereas 3 quotes were received for the municipal building renovations project being DC Construction in the amount of $84,300 plus HST, Jamie Irving in the amount of $78,882 plus HST, and Ridge Terrace in the amount of $68,300 plus HST. And whereas Ridge Terrace submitted the lowest compliant quotation in the amount of $68,300 plus HST, therefore be it resolved that council award the contract for the municipal building renovations project to Ridge Terrace in the amount of $68,300 plus HST. Be it further resolved that council approves a contingency amount of $5,000 to address any unforeseen conditions associated with the renovation of the existing facility, with funding to be drawn from the Community Renewal Fund.
Seconder, land. Any question?
Yes, I got a question.
Yeah.
On your 3 quotes. They are very different. They're very vague. One has very strong details with what size mini splits, windows, the whole works. One has somewhat of a description, and one is very, we're just gonna basically do the work and this is the branch.
Yeah.
Was there a format or a list that was given to the contractor that they checked off that could be held to them if we take the lowest bid and there's nothing saying that the mini split should be 8,000 or 2,000, whatever the case may be? Is there a checklist?
There'll be a contract.
Okay.
And all those performance indicators will be in that contract.
Okay,
So, and that will be shared with council.
okay,
Very
that's what we're
short
looking
term,
for.
yeah,
Okay.
they'll absolutely be, yeah.
Because there's a huge difference in these of information what's coming. And
But I'll have
I'm not
that,
saying there's no trust with the contractors, none of that, it's just to protect the municipality if something, if that window doesn't get replaced, you have something to fall back on.
absolutely, yeah, and there'll be a scope of work with all the work listed in there, carried out by the contractor and myself.
Perfect, I'd like to see that when it comes, please, thank you.
Absolutely. Tomorrow.
Awesome.
Good. All in favor?
I,
Aye. Motion carried. All right. Bylaw.
All right, so the bylaw 26 WAP 069 5 or FA 3. It is scheduled for first and second reading. As Mr. Robichaud stated during the public hearing, that there's no decision being made tonight. However, to do the formality, 3 readings are required. Council only has authority up until a certain date. We can make changes, just as Bill had suggested or mentioned, I should say.
in regard to this, I really think it's important to have our other two counselors in on the conversation. Moving forward before anything's got to decided. I'll make that statement.
So we could table this for the next meeting, is that what you're thinking?
I
To
think
have their
Councilor
input.
Ward Russell and Councilor Elderkin should have a say in this.
Just to note as well, so the first and second reading, you're not saying it's a done deal, right?
Right.
So if you wait till the next regular meeting, which would be in April. And then there would have to be, well, no, there's 30 days have to go by, and I'm trying to think whenever you guys aren't able to pass bylaws with your,
Exactly.
so the first and second reading would have to be done tonight to be due
To make-
procedure.
Okay.
Anyway,
Good thought.
it's for procedure.
It's not binding,
It's not binding, no,
so that people
It's-
know that.
that's right. Yeah.
Bylaw, okay, first reading by title. Once first reading is moved, second to vote, okay, gotcha. I move that first reading be titled, by title only, be given to bylaw number 26 WAP 069 FA 3. A bylaw to amend ministerial regulations 21 WAP 069 00. The Westmoreland Albert Planning Area Rural Plan Regulation.
Seconder, go ahead, Lynn, any question, all in favor? Aye, okay, go ahead.
I move that the second reading be given to bylaw number 26 WAP 069 FA 3. A bylaw to amend ministerial regulation 21 WAP 069 00. The Westmoreland Albert Planning Area Rural Plan Regulation, Ministerial Regulation 21 WAP 069 00. Filed in the Westmoreland County Registry Office on September 6, 2022, as number 43069906, is hereby amended as follows. Schedule A-2 being the Westmoreland Albert Planning Area zoning map is amended as shown on the map dated February 5th, 2026, attached hereto as Schedule FA3.
Seconder. Votes. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah, bylaw 2026-01.
Yes,
you.
so at the January 20th committee, the whole council reviewed the draft bylaw, the procedural bylaw 2026-01. Which was prepared to modernize and consolidate the rules governing council and committee meetings. So following council's discussion, administration prepared a clean consolidated version of the bylaw incorporating the key areas council asked to be clarified. Anybody have any questions in regards to that? I also provided a motion for first and second reading.
I'll make that motion. I move that first reading by title only be given to bylaw number 2026-01. A bylaw respecting the proceedings upon the Albert Municipal Council and committee meetings.
Second. All in favor?
I'll move that the second reading by section only be given by to bylaw number 2026-01. A bylaw respecting the proceedings of Fundy Albert Municipal Council and committee meetings. Sections as follows. Number 1, title. Number 2, definitions. Number 3, applications. 4, meetings of council. 5, procedure. 6, public hearings. 7 is quorum. 8, bylaws. 9, rules of public decorum. 10, petitions. 11, deputy mayor. 12, committees and boards. 13, conflict of interest. 14, confidentiality. 15, media inquiries. 16, consequences of disrespectful actions. 17 is repeal, and 18, enactment.
Seconder. Votes. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Mayor and council statements and inquiries. Anybody?
Sure. Thanks, Mayor. Where do you get that address? The heat pump, the VIC. I do believe it is not in yet. It was supposed to be in November, December. Any word, any idea on that?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna be working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. Should be done by spring, hopefully.
They will not freeze
No, we're freezing, we're gonna sweat.
or sweat.
Okay, thank you for that. Just a note for Public Works, Director of Operations. In the snowstorms, all the municipal buildings should have their fire exits shoveled and a pathway to those back doors. Noticed 1 or 2 that wasn't done, but it's not a big deal, but I think Rick had in
Which ones?
VIC for one. There's a back door on the other side that never gets shoveled. Below.
Great.
The man door.
I'll have a look at it and I'll send something across to the CEO to send across.
I think with their Bobcat blower, they can grade in there and blow that it's all flat ground. There's actually a cement slab when you open that door, so they could, rather than man shovel it, they could probably use machinery. Just a thought. Good, so appreciate that. And also the personnel committee minutes, I haven't seen none come forward. So maybe by the cow meeting, we'll have them addressed.
Okay.
And that's it for me. I have one thing for in camera. Thank you.
Votes.
Oh, not too much, just wanna thank the people going to attend the meeting tonight, and I hope that they'll look for vote for in May as the last election, the notes were, the numbers were real low. Like with 3 or 4 people, a couple of other things, we'd have $400. So let's all put it out. If we're doing a bad job or a good job, whatever you wanna do. Thank you.
All right, sir, thank you. Counselor?
I'd just like to thank Mayor Jim for attending down at the Caledonia Place with me last Wednesday night. Mayor and myself met with the residents down there. We had a real good discussion. We kind of filled them in on where we've been, where we are, and where we're heading. A lot of good questions came our way and, they definitely appreciate us being there. And I just want to thank you for coming up from Albert and, spending some time in, Ward 4. Appreciate that.
Well, it was a pleasure. Actually, we had a few laughs and informed the people what we've been working on and they're an interesting group and they had some really good comments and really care about Fundy Albert and Elk County, so it made a good evening.
It's a,
Our CEO and myself, we visited some of the ministers in the province. Tourism, education, OMB, Opportunities New Brunswick, Minister Hammond and
economic development,
Economic Development
Minister of Health.
and the Minister of Health. We had good conversations about what we have in Fundy Albert, what we need and what we'd like to see the province help. My comment is if we don't get in front of these people, nobody's gonna know we're here. So we made ourselves known, each and every one, got calendars of the Riverside School that the students do. And, we shared the importance of it. That was the first item that was mentioned to each minister before we got into what we needed to talk about. The education minister was receptive. A comment was made by myself that maybe they could move grade 6 or 7 or both back to Riverside School to bring up the numbers. And she actually quoted that in the news, a news brief. So it's something I believe that this council and the next council should continue to do at least every 6 months and have a good chat. It costs a bit of money to do that, but I think it's money well spent. And I also want to recognize that Sherry's here, our MLA, and I personally want to thank you very much for your support and the things that you've done to help us over the last year or so. And I'm sure the biggest to that, but I can only speak of the time I've been in the chair, so thank you.
My pleasure.
And I'm glad you have free time this evening, you can come and join us. Yeah. Notices of motions and resolutions, none. Yeah, anybody, did anybody sign up?
That would have been earlier. This is.
Well, this is the opportunity, so Sherry, do you have anything you'd like to say or share?
Well, no, just a.
Not to put you on the spot, but.
Not at all. Just it's a pleasure to be here and see some of the great work you guys do. I know you've been working hard. And I am happy that you went up to meet with the ministers because I can tell you that really goes a long way when you go and for your municipality and voice your opinions, your concerns and it's important. And I'm here when you need me and do what I can do certainly because that school is extremely important to the community.
No, and I certainly can share that you call back fairly quickly and I know you're a busy person, so we thank you. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Rick Langer, president of Albert County Legion,
Yes,
rank
sir.
32. I
Yes.
just want to let the council know that the Legion has introduced a coffee Thursday morning. It's from 9 to 11. It's free. Coffee, tea and biscuits. And we started it to address the needs of seniors and people who are lonely. And to try to give people an opportunity to meet and greet and just spend a few hours together.
That's awesome.
So you guys are welcome to come down any Thursday morning, have a free coffee, free biscuit.
There you go.
And I have been there and thoroughly enjoyed myself, so thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, we're gonna have a little project with the Legion.
Absolutely, thank you.
And we are gonna move forward, I think, in conjunction with your folks and do a little project in the village at the Cenotaph. So we're excited to support that and be a partner with you.
And we're very excited, very excited.
That's good stuff, sir. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's what it's about in this community. Anybody else? No? Oh, Kathy.
See you there.
Just, a couple of things. I did see the post in Facebook, about you and, Sean meeting in Fredericton, and as has been already, that's good news, and it needs to be promoted out to the community so that they recognize what you're doing in the forward thinking. So it was nice to see that post. I hate to be, repeating all the time, but is there any update on the audit?
March 6th is a public meeting,
Public meeting?
yes. 5 p.m.
Yes, the agenda will be shared shortly.
At 5 p.m.
Yeah,
Here?
that'd be Friday, Kathy.
Got it.
Just to know, you know, we do work weekend.
Yeah.
And
I
evenings.
gotta go curling in St. George.
Yeah.
It'll be recorded.
Yeah.
There were two presentations at the last meeting, and I just wondered if there was any follow-up on Joanne Butman made the request for the easement across the power lines for the ATV trail.
That was the motion.
That was the motion.
Councillor Pellis read.
Yeah, those,
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's
okay,
okay.
that's good. And the other one was the Water Street, building. Is there any, can you move forward on that?
No,
So will that be something that council
you're talking
discusses?
about Fundy Housing.
Yeah,
Just the talks that we had with Patrick and nothing in the last 2 weeks. The last, 2 weeks.
And just to pad some expectations, this is a long, there'll be a long period for the next conversation, or anything's brought back to report on.
We're waiting whatever Fundy Housing brings to us, so.
so you're waiting for Fundy Housing. I just misunderstood that.
Well, the land is prepped down Water Street, but because of being in the floodplain,
Right,
and then to the other piece of land, we haven't, council hasn't approved that we give it to them, or,
yeah. The option was either another piece of land or an exemption.
that's correct.
So that discussion hasn't happened.
No. But the exemption is possible.
Okay. But
Once
it
it's
will happen
presented.
with this council, not after the election, and
If we move quick enough on it, it probably could be done.
that's it.
I can reach back out to Patrick. I mean, it's not far away from me.
Yeah, no, I just knew that
Yeah,
it was a presentation and there was no follow-up,
Yeah.
and just whether it's something that will happen before the election or after.
that one I can't answer. Right now, maybe tomorrow, I can call back.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Okay. That's it. So we're gonna move into closed sessions in a moment.
Yep.
Need a motion. So moved. Thank you. Seconder? Sure. Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Carried.
The citizen.
Okay, folks, we have a motion here. If you would read that, Councillor Lane.
I move the council direct administration to proceed with legal action to address the ongoing non-compliance located PID number 00624478 as recommended by Plan 360.
Seconder for that, Councillor Jones. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried unanimously. Second motion.
I move that following the appeal hearing in closed session, council direct maritime bylaw enforcement services to conduct another site visit, allowing time for compliance with the notice of unsightly premises issued in respect of PID 00624478. And further, that council extend the time for compliance with the notice of unsightly premises issued in respect of PID 00624478 until May 31st, 2026. And be it further resolved that the clerk issue a written decision letter in accordance with the Fundy Albert unsightly or dangerous premises bylaw.
Seconder? Votes? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn? So moved. Counselor Smith. Thank you.